guys, it's Andy from Impossible Not Yarn Shop. It's been a really long time since we've posted a podcast. Helen can't be here with me today. I'm hoping that we can organize something soon, but with how everything's been recently over the last year, it's been really difficult for everybody to get together and just manage to do some filming. But I hope you guys have managed to stay healthy and managed to make it through okay. Been concerned about everybody in our area with regards to COVID. We still have a mask mandate in our shop. Our town isn't too bad. We're a really little town, and so it's been fairly safe, but due to staff and you know, most of our clientele are squarely within an at-risk age group, and the fact that the numbers keep going up and down and up and down in our town, we're keeping the mask for a little while longer. I check every week. As soon as we see the numbers come down and stay down, we'll remove the mask mandate, but for now it's still there. Sorry for the inconvenience for those people who want to come visit, but we do have masks. If you don't have one, we've got some spare surgical masks in the shop for people. Now I just came, I want to talk to everybody about projects that I've been working on and finished objects that I've had done this year so far, and I hope I got everything. I don't know. But I have a pile of stuff to talk about here, so I don't know if I should just go ahead and start. Something I really want to do for the shop is to have a lot more crochet samples, because we just don't, I'm a knitter, I can crochet, but I'm no star. But I have started making little crochet samples of yarns, like these guys right here. So they're little samples. Granny squares are my easy go-to crochet sample, but it gives people an idea of how the yarns feel crocheted up. And then I have a crochet shawl I need to work on. I haven't started yet, but I did do a crochet bag. So this is one of my finished objects. It's based on a bag by Lion brand called the Gretel bag, or the Gretel Tote. I put this tassel on there myself, but these are just grannies. I did adjust the pattern. I didn't do it exactly to the requirements. I did the sides solid. So this is Berroco Vintage. Vintage is a really lovely acrylic wool nylon blend. It's super soft, really easy care. And I did the bottom solid so nothing would fall out of it if you were to put something in. And I just pleated the sides a little bit. They did their top a little bit different. I did the handles the way they recommended. This color here is a new yarn for the shop. So this is Lion brand's Landscapes. We just have a few colors of it in stock. It was this one that I used here in the shop. That one's called glasses. That one's called Wildflowers, of course, and it's such pretty purpley, dark purpley blue, greens, olivey colors, purples. It's really pretty, and it comes in a lot of different colors. We have, I think, 4 or 5 in stock. They're on the website. But it's a single ply, so it made for a really nice texture change and pretty little tote. So that's one of our samples for the shop that's crocheted, and there will be more soon. You know, crochet represent, because we've got lots of people who do crochet here in town. When I finished a few things that I don't have here with me, but they're home or other places. But I have quite a few little sweaters and tops and vests like the one I'm wearing. But this one here is Soundtrack. Oh, let me just get my phone. Oh, this is Soundtrack by Elizabeth Smith. I love so many of her knits. But it's a cute little, it's a slipover, considered a slipover or sleeveless, because you just do pick up and knit the ribbing around the bottom. But 2 colors. It is a mosaic, so it's just little slip stitch pattern so that you get these little speckles of color, and it switches part way up. It's worked in the round from the bottom up, and then bottom up, and then you do this top part here flat, so you separate for sleeves and work flat, and it's really soft. I did mine in Berroco Vintage. So this is the worsted size Berroco Vintage. It's really soft, easy care, good selection of colors now. in stock of the Berroco Vintage. So that's that one. Another pattern that we're all very familiar with by Tin Can Knits, and don't mind there are some ends peeping out that I have not put away yet, is a love note. So for Valentine's Day, I knit the love note in my All Points North Downtown colorway, which is a multicolored pink with speckles hot pink, a little bit of orangey yellow colors, hot purple. And I used a Sugarbush mohair. Now we are not going to be carrying Sugarbush any longer, so we switched over to drops. I just don't have this color of hot pink yet. I'm waiting for them to get their new shipment in. I have a selection of drops mohair, but I'm waiting so that I can get a few more colors. I'm out of white, I'm out of black. I'd like a pale blue and a few other colors, and this hot pink, of course, but there's some other pinks and really, really gorgeous browns and greens and things in there. And it's so soft. It's really super soft. And then we are currently in the middle of a knit along. So we're doing the fuzz double cal here, which is holding double with mohair. Before the knit along, I knit this one. This is a PetiteKnit Stockholm Slipover. She also has a V-neck Stockholm Slipover, but I do like this round neck. It looks really great over button shirts like this one, or even t-shirts. And this is I held double with mohair. I used a DK instead of a fingering because I like a nice compact fabric, but that's my preference. She has a really interesting construction where she casts on along here and does short rows to raise the sleeves up, the neckline up like this. It's quite lovely. And I used DK non-superwash, the Andean DK Heather, so we have a selection of Estelle's Andean DKs, and we have their naturals, which are undyed, and we have a bunch of colors of their dyed. It's beautiful when you hold this double with a dark green, and so I held it with the dark green drops mohair, and it makes such a great color. I don't know if you can see, it's sort of mossy looking. I love it. It's definitely my colorway. And if you haven't knit a slipover yet, a little pullover vest, this is a great one to knit. So it's in the round until, of course, you split for sleeves, which then it's worked flat. But it's got a really nice construction, and her bind off is an Italian bind off, so a sewn bind off, which is really nice. So it has that look of a tubular bind off, but it's just done with a needle and the stitches on your needle, so it's quite lovely, and you don't have those set up rows, and it makes such a nice finish on the edge, and with such a small ribbing, it's so simple and classic. So it's a really, really good vest, and quick. Oh my gosh, was it ever quick. So I also finished this vest. This is the Calidez Vest so I'm never going to remember. I keep trying, but the Calidez Vest is a bulky knitted vest, and this is the standard V-neck, but it also comes in a round neck and a high V-neck, so you can choose. But it's Jenjoyce Design, be bulky, but the pattern has this really great section at the end, so if you don't quite get gauge, they have a chart so you can choose what size to knit based on gauge. And so I knew that I was out a little bit, so I just knit a different size based on the charts that she had provided with the pattern. The only thing you have to remember is, so I was supposed to be knitting a 40-inch bust, but I had to knit a little bit bigger because my gauge was smaller. And so when they tell you to knit a specific length in the body or in the sleeve area, the upper portion, I still knit the length that was recommended for 40 inches, even though I didn't knit 40 inches, because I wanted to make sure that it fit really well in the sleeves, and it's such a great fitting vest. Covers everything up, looks great with a t-shirt too. I did mine with Briggs Little Heritage in Ragg, so it's a pale brown and white rag, really rustic wool, and I held it double with mohair, so So I have a little bit looser fabric, and it makes gauge, and I really enjoy it. It's soft and it's pretty, and I've got these cute little buttons on here. So I wear it in the shop a lot, and it's nice and warm. It's also unisex, so you can make that for a man too, maybe the high neck or whatever, but under a winter jacket in the winter or in the fall to keep warm as a vest. Really lovely pattern. Definitely going to knit some more. I can't wait. I think I could probably go down in my size down to about a worsted or heavy worsted, maybe an Aran, and just use the adjustments and see how it goes. I can't wait to try it with my hand dyed. But I think that's it. I have a bunch of other finished projects, but that we never, I don't know, I don't have them here. So I did finish socks though. Socks. So this is a pair that I knit one in like 3 days, and the second one took me over a year. So I can't really say that it's a finished object necessarily for this year, but these were little shorties. I used the Rose City roller pattern, but just did a little ribbing at the top instead, so they're cute little shorties. And I did them in All Points North Sweet Sock in Summer Romance. So it's lots of yellow, red, hot pink, green, blue speckles all over navy blue. Yeah, so it was super fun. And they're really great fitting. I love the Rose City Rollers pattern. I have so many projects right now that are on the go. Not nearly as many as I used to have, but I feel like I can't seem to get anything finished because I'm in the middle of a million different patterns. This pattern is knit in Bamboo Pop, which is through Universal Yarns. It's a 50-50 cotton bamboo. It's really soft. I don't believe the gauge on the ball band. I believe it's a dirty liar. But it's a little tiny bit smaller than a DK and definitely bigger than a sport. So it's sort of that in between. So depending on how you knit, it could go either way. For me, it knits sort of, like I said, just a little bit. I'm a fairly tight knitter, but not so bad as I used to be. And it knits somewhere between a sport and a DK. Beautiful fabric once it's knit. So this is the Linearis, and the Linearis is a tank top by, let me just see if I can pull this up here. Reading glasses. The Linearis is by Amelie Designs. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's gorgeous. I've separated for sleeves, so I'm kind of in the middle of the tank top right now. So it's a lace pattern on the back. Gosh, I hope, oh no, it'll fit for sure. It's a lace pattern, a really easy repeating lace pattern on the back, and it has sort of a little ribbed sides, up the sides, and then it's just straight knitting on the front, so stockinette. I didn't do the split at the bottom of the tank. I can't be bothered with split hems myself. I'm a little bit lazy that way. But it's a little tank top with a V-neck, so it's quite a nice, and then it has little straps, little leaf shapes on the straps as well. And it's so soft. I can't even tell you how soft this Bamboo Pop is knit up. This is the color, it's sort of a coral. It looks really pink in the video, I think, but it's very corally, so it's like a salmon-y coral. It's really lovely. And this one is called Strawberry. I don't know if I have very much of it left right now because I've kind of poached a few skeins, but I do have a ton of colors in this Bamboo Pop, and it's perfect for summer knitting. It's so soft. It also makes great blankets for babies. It's machine wash, lay flat to dry, but it's still such a wonderful yarn. Yeah, lay flat to dry. And 100 grams gets you quite a bit of yardage. It has 292 yards, so it's got quite a bit of yardage. Also makes wonderful face cloths. So if you're someone who really needs a soft face cloth, baby face cloths, amazing. I've also seen ladies I have a dark gray color, and then there's ladies who, for washing makeup, they like the gray color because your makeup doesn't stain the cloths. But fantastic for garments. Definitely not a craft yarn, but you certainly could use it that way if you wanted to. Really enjoying this knit. it's taking me a little while, but over Mother's Day I got a good 6 inches knit and I'm split now, so really excited to get this one finished for the shop so everyone can see it, and maybe I can wear it too. I knit everything in my size, but that doesn't necessarily mean I get to wear it. Something that I'm currently working on, and I just started it up, is a blanket. So I'm sort of in the middle of it. It's Bernat blanket yarn. I take the ball band off and knit from the outside because I can never pull the center of these balls. This is one of the Yarnspirations patterns, and it's called a rose leaf blanket, and it's a repeating lace pattern. And these loops at the bottom, these little, there's kind of scallops at the bottom like this, very loose. They have a tassel big tassel attached to the bottom of each one. Now the only thing I did differently with this blanket was I added one extra repeat because I wanted it to be a little bit longer, a little bit bigger than a throw blanket. So it'd still be good, but 2 of us could probably sit underneath it, which is nice. One blanket got me up to about right here. So 1 ball. Now this is a yarn that's not on my website, but I do carry quite a bit of it in stock here. It's just that the balls are so big that shipping it isn't really, especially since in a blanket, a baby blanket, it's about 2 balls. Lap blankets 3 to 4. Twin size is about 4-ish, 5. Double, you know, it's going to vary. If you want it up to a king size, it's a lot of balls of yarn, and so shipping it, it would cost more than our standard shipping. And if you've been on our website, you'll realize that shipping did go up by $5. So Canada Post has put surcharges on, fuel surcharges on, because of how much everything's costing right now. And I was finding that shipping to anywhere aside from very close in BC was costing me a lot more than we were charging for shipping, and unfortunately it's not sustainable. So purchases up to $100 before taxes are $20 now instead of $15, and purchases up to $200 before taxes are $25, and then anything over $200 is free shipping. So we still keep the free shipping, but it helps. It really helps. So if you're from far away and there's something from our shop that you'd like, certainly you could just either order with a friend or make sure that you have a few projects in hand, and we can ship them free of charge across Canada and the States. These guys here, if you're looking for a specific color, you can always contact the shop and I can let you know if we have it and how much shipping would cost. Unfortunately, shipping for a single ball is really, really hard to compare to Yarnspirations. That's their website, and they have a little bit more colors. But if you're here in town and you want to come in, or you're from Williams Lake or Cache Creek or something that's not too far away and you need a yarn shop, we certainly have a bunch, quite a bit. I have a few different projects on the go. Let's do this one here. This is my favorite bag. I wish I had these in the shop. This is Ginger Snap. When I at Knit City this past year, so last Knit City, she had so many bags, and I really needed a sweater bag. This is like a perfect bag for sweaters. I have so much yarn in here, it's not even funny. And lots of pockets. It's soft-sided and it has a drawstring. So this is my favorite type of bag. I don't mind a zipper, but I prefer a drawstring. I like a soft bag because I like to chuck everything into my bag and travel back and forth from home. I carry my needles with me too. This is the Stripes Pullover by Andrea Mowry. She uses a selection of colors, so quite a few colors. I chose, I had some balls that had some damage to them and I didn't know what to do with them, but they all seem to really go well together, so I tossed in a cream color. And I've got, this is All Points North Divine DK, and I've got Briquette, Ballet Pink, Madras, Au Naturel, Aquastone, and Chai Latte. So all these colors, and then of course I'm going back to the black, to the Briquette. This is the neckline, so it's a top down in the round, and it's super easy. It's really great, knits up super fast so far. I just haven't picked it back up in the past little bit here because I've been knitting that blanket and my tank top. But it's soft, and I can't wait to wear it. So it's a little bit boxy in the body. It's got a round yoke, And I'm going to knit it with little 3/4 sleeves, so it'll be good for the summer, not too heavy, especially night times here can sometimes be a little chillier. It's still, it's raining right now, sort of a rain and slush. It's been not particularly nice. We still haven't got leaves yet. It's so close, it won't be long now. I think they're just starting to grow, but our daffodils are growing and our grass has finally started to grow. It is definitely a northern town. Not super north, but definitely a northern town. Now, I like to have lots of summer knits, and I have knit the Ranunculus by, that's Midori, right? Just one sec. I'm not used to having to put my reading glasses on top of my contacts. That's a love note. Yes, Midori High Rose. I've knit it now, this will be the 5th time I've knit it. And I'm using Estelle's Eco DK that I showed you earlier. This is the cream color. That DK is it's a woolen spun, so it's 350 meters per 100 grams. It has a lot of yardage, but it fluffs up, and when it's relaxed like this, you can really see it's such a, for a non-superwash yarn, it is so soft. This is like a cloud. But I just love, I did make a few mistakes in here, but I just love the texture in this top. I love the fact that all this lace is up above the bust. I do love the love note because it comes in a million sizes. But the lace is fairly low, so a tank top is required if you use a little thicker yarn. This one I could probably get away without a tank top. It's fairly thin, but because it's a DK, it's a little bit thicker. I'm gonna probably do this one as just little teeny short sleeves, so we'll add a few more rounds and then some ribbing because I don't like a curling cuff on it. But I can't wait to wear this one in the summer, maybe over top of, it's a boxy sweater, so over top of a little dress or skirt or something like that. I haven't had a white sweater since I was a teenager, I think. I don't know about you, but that's one of the ones that I'm in the middle of, and I keep wondering where all my needles are, and they're no. Every time I go try to find a pair of needles, they're always in one of my projects. This is one of my own bags here. Someday maybe we'll get around to sewing some more bags, but that's one of my own bags. Now, I think that's it for ongoing projects. I have a bunch of things on the go that are either just started, some socks that are just started. I have a lot of projects going, but before we get into that, I'll talk a little bit about a couple more yarns that we have in the shop recently. So Lion Brand hadn't had a Canadian distributor, and one of our suppliers has picked them up. I don't have much in the way of Lion Brand in the shop just because we don't really have a lot of room right now. But I did carry a couple of mandalas. So this is one of the ombres. So they are sort of striping or ombre colorways. Some of them are single colors like blue, different variations of blue, and some of them are bright colors like this. I think we have 4 or 5 colors in the shop. And I also have some of the DK mandala. Just 3 colors. So they're all like that. So they're soft. These ones are spun similar to a merino. They have a nice twist, and they do feel really soft for an acrylic. Both of them are acrylic. This one's a little bit more like a fuzzier soft, and this one's a little bit more like a silky soft, like a merino. They're quite fun, so they're nice if you want to do a long scarf or a project where you just need to have some color changing and you don't want to change colors manually. We got in with our last Berroco order a ton more of vintage DK. So if you're a DK fan and you want some nice easy care projects, I have a ton of colors of it. It's just the same as the worsted weight, the standard vintage, but it's DK and it's just soft and so nice. We're working on a little unbearable hoodie. I do need to pick up a few more colors of these and some baby colors, or like a pretty pink and a nice soft teal, and a few colors that are a little bit more little kid oriented, which I don't have. I have a lot of like fashion colors right now. But we did get a ton more of those if you like to knit in DK like I do. We also got Berroco Comfort Sock. Berroco Comfort Sock is a sock yarn. It is an acrylic nylon, and I know a lot of people are saying acrylic because it is a little bit hot for your feet, but for people who can't wear wool or are allergic to wool, this is a really nice option for a cute little sock. They're easy care, machine wash and dry. They're really well patterned. So this one here, which is, I keep folding my glasses up. Why do I keep doing that? This one here, oh, I forget, they don't put their names on, just the color numbers. This is color number 1816 in Comfort Sock. And it's sort of olive colors and sort of a burgundy pink type color, a little bit of rusty, some brown, and it knits up quite lovely. So it's got some really nice patterning. I had to help her knit me little samples so they look like a part of a sock. And it's really soft, like very, very soft. So we have 5 colors of that in stock right now. This is another one here. This is color, I keep taking my glasses off, 1817. So it's some blues, a little tiny bit of gold brown, and some sage. It's quite pretty. So I have a couple of striping and the rest are self-patterning. So they're quite fun to play with. And great for little kid socks, you know, be able to wash and wear, and they're not too dear. The price is quite good on it as well. So I have a ton of Santa's Garn tin line in stock. Tin line is a fingering weight cotton viscose linen. Feels really nice. Once it's knit up, it has a beautiful texture, beautiful fabric, and it comes in some great colors. I have some blues and a rusty orange, tans, a pale pink, purple. There's 2 greens, a sage and a darker sage, but they're just lovely to knit. So if you're looking for something for a nice lightweight summer top, this would be gorgeous. I'm tempted to knit some more of the held double with mohair, but with a cotton base. I would love to knit that. I have a really long queue, so I don't know when I'll get around to it, but that's the last. I have several other yarns, but some drops alpaca, we brought it back in. There's tons more new needles. We now have Chiaogu interchangeable tips. I don't have a huge size range yet. I think I have 2.5 up to 6 millimeter in the 5-inch needles and a selection of cables. We're adding to them as we go. I have a lot of fixed circulars, and we do carry some sets. So if you're looking for some sets, and we can always order more. So if you're looking for something and can't find them, it's something that we usually can order regularly with our regular orders, and you can just ask. Just send us an email to the shop. Now I have really great news. So All Points North, if you're familiar with our shop, All Points North is our shop brand. I'm the dyer for All Points North. I was at Knit City with All Points North and a few needles and things last year, and it was so fun. It was so fun. I met so many fantastic, our community is amazing, the dye community here. It was a really small Knit City, just mostly Canadian. It was all Canadian dyers. Nobody could come across the border at that point. It was only half the forum, but it was so fun, and it was my first time vending, and I really enjoyed meeting everybody. And my news is that we got a booth for this year. So we have a 15-foot booth. So again, I'm not bringing the shop with me. I'm just bringing the All Points North. I'm super excited. We have a lot of plans. I'm spending a lot more time than I expected working on what a booth is going to look like. If you have anything that you'd like me to bring to Knit City that I didn't bring last year, if you saw us, or if you want to see something specifically brought, we can absolutely bring it with us. I'm working on a bunch of new colorways for different lines. I've been practicing a different type of dyeing, which is just a different way of making colors, and I'm having some fun. So colors like these guys, I posted them on the Instagram for All Points North, but you can see that's Citron and I can't remember what I've decided as a name, but it's a sort of a deep greeny blue. It's really pretty. That's slate and copper. It looks a little browner on the video, I think, than it does in real life. It's more goldeny. really shiny. It's beautiful. And then of course 2 of our regular colors, Chai Latte and Marshmallow, and those will all be together in a single line. And then I have a really summery one. So this one is going to be the Summer Crush. So the colors, 2 of our regular colors, which would be Hot Stuff and Come On Get Happy in the yellow. And then these are the new colors. So Tangerine, which is, oh gosh, it looks really red. It's very, very orange, and it's got a gorgeous shine to it. It's beautiful. Sky, which is an aqua-y, very bright aqua, light aqua. Clover, which is a very happy green color. It's similar to pine, but it's just a single tone. And then Blueberry, which is a really fun, it's not a cobalt or anything, it's nice blue color, but they all really go really well. So I would love to make a Camaro by Tanis Lavely out of these guys, and then pick like a speckled for the main body of it. But these would be the colors in the V. So I'm going to be working on things like these and maybe making little sets, because what would be fun is 50-gram sets of these guys. So you can have 6 colors, 50 grams each, to do color work, because it would be super fun. I haven't got plans for any new bases. We did some testing on cotton, which was fun. I can go grab those one sec. So it was very interesting dyeing cotton, and I don't know if anyone's dyed cotton before, but it's a totally different process of direct application. So this was navies and purpley pinks, and then these ones here were speckled. So they're gorgeous and shiny and little speckles and soft colors. However, dyeing cotton is a really water heavy process, and we have a septic system at home, and I can't justify running that much water, especially with the dye going down into the septic. We make sure that none of the dye is wasted normally in our process, and when you dye cotton, a lot goes down the drain, unfortunately. So we won't be doing cotton. I have a little bit of this. This is some fine cotton. I was just testing on some. But I might have some inside the shop if I dye up the rest of what I have. But I won't be doing these commercially. I probably will be dyeing cotton fabric, because this is a super fun way of doing, and I can reuse the dyes after, as long as they're not too muddy, because it is a reactive, fiber reactive dyes. So this is ice dyeing. It is so much fun. I don't know if any of you have ever ice dyed. So basically you soak your fabric in soda ash. That helps it, the color set. You soak it for about a half an hour, and you wring it out and scrunch it up on a tray. You can either sit it in, so it'll sit in the water, or which is called in the muck, I believe, or you can put it on a tray, like a cookie tray kind of thing. You kind of scrunch the fabric all up so there's little hills and valleys. Cover it over with ice, so a nice thick layer of ice. If you can get commercial ice, that's way easier. I raided our freezer, and we had no ice because I absolutely raided our freezer. But then you sprinkle the color, is a powder, the dye powder, over top, the fiber reactive dye powder over top, in different ways. And as it melts, it soaks into the fabric in these beautiful floral kind of interesting ways. You can sort of see where the color got popped on the fabric. And this is another one done in softer colors, sages and purples. It's so beautiful. I think we probably will be dyeing some fabric yardage, single yards, because it's very batik-y, and it would make such pretty project bags, or if you're a quilter, it would work really nicely for quilting. So if we have time, I'm hoping that we can bring some pretty fabrics. I don't know if I can show up close. You can see where the colors have separated and all the pretty little speckles of color. It's gorgeous. So anyways, this was just some canvas. They were bits of curtains that we had from ages ago, some cotton canvas that in the wash have a little bit frayed. But if I have time, I might even make some bags out of this stuff, but I don't know as I'll have time. But basically that's the shop. We're chock full. There's lots of new colors of lots of lines that we have in the shop. There's lots of things on sale. You can look online and see. There's a ton of stuff on sale there. There's also certain things that are only on sale in the shop because they're only available in the shop. Not everything here is online. If you ever see anything here in the shop or me showing something on a video and it's not in the online shop, you can always contact us to find out if it's available. It's just me dealing with our website, and so I've gained a lot of hats in the last couple of years, and I am working hard to try to keep up. It's not easy. But yeah, so that's everything here, and I hope that you're all doing well and taking care. And if you have any questions or any recommendations for projects or for things you'd like to see at Knit City or projects for me to start for the shop, definitely add a message to this video and we will get back to you. I appreciate every single person that watches, and I hope to do this a lot more often. Anyways, have a great day, guys. See you later.